What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Just pumping gas. About to hit the grocery store in a minute. Looking for some items that I wasn't able to find at a local grocery store near me. But I just wanted to touch base with my community. If you're new here, Epic Survival here, definitely subscribe to the channel. This is a new channel for me. I hope to continue to share my experiences with you guys, things that I've learned, my mistakes, so that you can avoid the mistakes that I have made. So here I am pumping gas, and I'm looking outside and I'm like, wow, gas prices have actually come down a little bit. Of course, gas prices are still very, very high, and I can't believe I'm saying that they've come down looking at gas prices as they are right now. So as you can see here, guys, it is $4.29 a gallon for just the cheap stuff. This is the cheap stuff at $4.29 a gallon. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a quick update here on the gas here, on the gas prices. We're definitely in some unusual times if I'm saying that, you know, regular gas is sitting at $4.29 a gallon. That's a bit ridiculous. But at the same time, I am thankful that we at least have gas. And I want to take a look and show this to you guys, because clearly, I'm not sure if this is a widespread issue, but there's at least a shortage on diesel fuel right now. And let me just show this to you guys. There's a number of different stations here with these out of services. Actually, there's a couple of them. You can see this one here. This one's out of service, and I think it's actually all of them. They're all showing out of service. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm not sure if it's just this gas station or if this is a widespread issue that just first surfaced here. Let's see. I didn't know that gas stations actually carried wine. Now, these will get you in trouble. That's why I stay out of these as much as I can. So I'll come in here and get weak. Yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick walkthrough, local gas station. I thought that was a little bit unusual to see so many pumps with out of service. Let me just show you guys one more time. This is one here. Here's another one over here showing out of service. So, like I said, guys, I'm not sure if this is going to be a widespread issue for diesel, or is it just this particular gas station here. But let's head on over to the grocery store, take a look at the prices, and see what I just pulled up here. About to run inside this grocery store. Wanted to share some insights with you guys. I don't know if this is some just something that's going on in my area or what, but you know, I'm just paying attention to a lot of things that are going on, and I'm pretty sure you guys are too. You know, it's all about survival and awareness. I had a conversation, rather long conversation, with a buddy of mine who's currently out in the outskirts of Las Vegas area, and he was letting me know that they had been observing that there's a lot more aircraft testing going on out there, fighter jet aircraft testing going on out there, And I said, really? And he was telling me, hey, yeah, his wife doesn't even necessarily like to go and walk the dog at night anymore because the aircrafts, these fighter jets, are so loud out there. And I was asking him, I was like, are they flying really low? And he said, he doesn't really see them. He just, he sees them at times, but at night you can't see them. So ultimately, either they're flying so high that you can't see them, or they're moving so quickly you can't see them. But whatever the case is, you can definitely hear them at night. You can see them in the day, and the frequency that they're seeing these fighter jets is increasing. So we got to talking, and we're talking about the whole Russia-Ukraine situation, and his take was that, and he actually used to be in the military. He and his wife used to be in the military, so they're pretty experienced with a lot of these different tests and missions and so forth. And we were talking about how the Ukraine has actually been holding up quite a bit of fight against Russian forces. And he gave me this great example, and he was like, so, because I questioned it myself. I'm like, how is the Ukraine keeping up with or holding back Russian forces? It would seem like the Ukraine wouldn't even have a chance. Now, of course, the U.S. is, providing, replenishments of supplies and military weapons and so forth. But just, pure numbers, it just didn't seem like it was even going to be a close match here. So he gave me this example. He's like, okay, so imagine there's this guy that you know of, and you have a problem with him, and he threatens you and says something to the effect of, hey, I don't like you, and I'm gonna break into your house and do harm to you, right? So this is the scenario he gave me, right? So when you hear this threat, you believe him, and you've heard this threat a number of different times, right? So it gets to a point where you start planning and preparing for this incoming attack, right? So let's just pretend that the guy that threatened you, that was Putin, and let's just say that the person being threatened is the Ukraine. So long and short of it, you're expecting this guy to fulfill his threats, or come through on his threats, so he eventually comes through. Now, meanwhile, you weren't just sitting around waiting for him to show up, but you kind of were, right? So you know your house very well. You know every square inch of the house. You know every nook and cranny. You know where the rooms are. You know the floor plan, the layout. You know where you can kind of hide and sneak, attack, whatever. You're also preparing with weapons. You're not just going to wait for this person to show up and not be prepared. So meanwhile, this is pretty much the scenario that he painted out for me as he explained why the Ukraine is likely able to kind of hold its own. I just thought it was an interesting example, and it was something that I hadn't considered. So, this is not like CIA information, but it was a scenario that he shared with me. And him being in the military, I always like hearing his perspective on things, and he's not actively involved in this at all. But so anyway, so imagine this guy finally shows up at your doorstep with a gun, right? And he kicks the door in, but he doesn't know the layout of the house. So you can, you've got booby traps everywhere. You've got you've set yourself up so that you can attack them and catch them by surprise. But the whole thing is the mere fact that they don't understand the layout, they don't know what kind of traps you've got in place. They may actually enter the house, but it may be because you wanted them to, because you want them to walk into a trap. So the whole thing is it was rather interesting how he laid this out. And I was just thinking to myself, wow, so Russians wouldn't necessarily know the Ukraine the way Ukrainians do, and certainly not the way the Ukrainian government and military forces do. So there's a lot of more likely surprise attacks and lay of the land that they're not aware of, which would actually give the Ukrainians some degree of an advantage, at least from a surprise attack standpoint. So anyway, I just thought that was rather interesting. And he also shared how the military has been rather quiet, and not just the military, but our politicians have been rather quiet about this whole situation. And he believes that a lot more is coming down the pipeline. Now, combine that with the increased amount of Air Force testing in the immediate area. I saw a B-52 flying overhead in my vicinity recently. And it's not that I never see them, because there's an Air Force base not too far by, but I just thought it was rather interesting just to kind of see these events happening, you know. And I don't want to ignore these things, because, you know, if you put two and two together, a lot of times you can kind of see what's coming down the pipeline. Now, I'm just sharing this with you guys because there's always more to the story than what is being shared with us. Will we ever fully understand what's really going on here? I think that remains to be seen. But I wanted to share that with you guys. And also drop me a comment down below. Are you guys seeing increased military activity, testing in the area? Are you seeing, you know, fighter jets overhead? I would just like to hear from you guys. But let's go ahead and run into this Publix here. See if we can pick up a few things. And also let you see what kind of prices, what prices look like inside of this particular Publix today. As well as, you know, let's just make sure that everything is in stock. Hopefully it's in stock. Let's hope that there are no empty shelves in there. And, you know, let's hope that we can see a better and improvement in our supply chain. Me personally, I think that things can get better, but they're just not there yet. But let's go inside and have a look. Yeah, guys, we're heading into this Publix here. See what they got. So, see, we got the oils in. A little bit low on the Publix brand of canola oil, vegetable oil. Wesson oil's a little bit low here. Overall, the stock is pretty good. That's what we talked about before. You know, sometimes there's shortages, but not in everything. Just maybe shortages on certain brands of product. Let's see what else we have here. Looks like the Publix brand is getting wiped out pretty quickly. Probably because it's usually the more competitive brand from a price standpoint. Inventory on spices does look pretty good though. Man, what is going on here? Man, when I was a kid, I used to just destroy some cereal. I used to make these huge bowls of cereal. And that's probably why I was so overweight, because there's a lot of sugar in the cereals. And got some empty shelves here, by the way. A lot of these cereal boxes are kind of pulled forward to make them look a little bit more full here on the shelves. But like I was saying, when I was a kid, I used to eat so much cereal, it was ridiculous, and I was really overweight. You know, I didn't eat very healthy, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't only cereal that made me fat, but it is what it is. I definitely did consume a lot more cereal than I probably should have, especially if you look at let's just take this Fruit Loops for example. This is one of my favorite ones when I was a kid, and even now I don't really eat cereal, but if you look at it, you got this serving size. Where is it? Serving size 1 1/4 cup. The thing is most people who consume cereal on a regular basis, the average person has no idea how much 1 1/3 cup is. And the average person's bowl of cereal is probably anywhere between 2 and 3 times the serving size. So whenever you look at like the calories on cereal, if you don't know how much you're consuming, you're taking in a whole lot more calories than you think. And this is a big reason why a lot of people gain weight unexpectedly, and I certainly was one of them. So I'm looking at it, 1 1/3 cup, 150 calories. For example, you were like me and you're making these big old bowls of cereal, you're easily consuming maybe 3 times the recommended serving size. So instead of 150 calories, it's 450 calories, right? And on top of that, it's more milk because it's more cereal, so there's more calories from the milk too. So anyway, just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. Looking at the shelves here, we are looking a little bit bare for certain types of granola foods. We talked about this previously, that with the whole Russia-Ukraine situation, borders getting closed and so forth, we were expecting a shortage of wheat products. So these products are made out of wheat. So I don't know if this is an early sign of what is to come, or are we just temporarily out of stock in this location? Because these shelves are looking a little bit empty here. Not trying to make any kind of broad speculation, but generally there's previews of what is to come if you're paying attention. So I'm thinking I might pick up a few of these just to prepare for, because these generally have a long shelf life. I don't really like that one, but let me see. Let me try this peanut butter one. This peanut butter one, what's the shelf life on this guy? I'm trying to look for the expiration date on it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so expiration, best used if, okay, March 14th, 2023. So there's a decent shelf life on these. Okay, so these are, let's see, Goya lentils. $1.49 for these here at Publix. Yellow rice, $2.29. The thing is with these is, I was reading the other day that with these beans, not only do you want to freeze them for a good 72 hours, make sure that you don't have any was it larvae? I'm not sure exactly what it is that can be among your beans, but you want to go ahead and freeze them to kill those things off. But in addition, you want to ensure that you soak your beans for a number of reasons. Number one, it helps with the digestive properties of the nutrients when you're consuming the beans. When you soak them for a period of several hours, this unlocks and releases nutrients that our bodies need to consume in order to get the maximum consumption of the nutritional value that the beans offer. And not only that, it helps with digestion. So if you're like me and you suffer from certain gas from consuming certain types of beans, that will lessen the impact of that. So, and here's some more beans down here. This is a better supply of beans over here. Pinto beans. We got some slow cookers, Italian bean soup, green pea splits. So what I like about beans though is I love their shelf life, and they're loaded with nutrients. Look at this, small red beans, $1.99. And I do want to take a look at the rice. Okay, cool. Rice, we're still sitting at $2.19 for 32 ounces for 2 pounds of the brown rice. My wife and I came in here the other day and the price was the same. So we're a little empty here on this one. This is the Mahatma rice, jasmine. So all in all though, the stock on some of these items is still looking pretty good. All right guys, so I went ahead and grabbed the essentials out of Publix. Overall their stock wasn't too bad. You know, we are expecting shortages on a few items because of the whole Ukraine Russia situation, but thankfully we're not being impacted, at least at this location so far. Let me know in your area if you're seeing any shortages on any types of foods in the grocery stores. I would definitely love to hear from you guys. I am pleased to see that the prices have not inflated beyond what they have been over the past several weeks. Just keeping an eye on prices because inflation is real and it's only getting worse, you guys. So keep an eye on things. Let's stay vigilant. Keep our stockpiles of food up. Keep our families healthy. I will continue to report to you guys in future videos. And I will see you guys then. Take care.